Joining us now is Ojinika Jinix Okpe, with stories trending around the world. Hello, Jinix.
I have a message for you.
I noticed that you enjoyed your weekend.
Yes, I did.
Your boy is back
My
in town.
boy is back in town. Really, Dr. Fati, yes, he is.
I miss you at Aaron's
I saw you.
Wedding.
And I saw you, Rufai. You were twerking. But you look good. I wasn't there. I was preparing for family and all. But I have a message for you.
Okay, tell me.
Tundu Abiola says to tell you, you're wearing the hell out of that cornflower blue. That's the color.
Hello, Tundu. Thank you.
You look amazing with your glasses. You look great too.
Thank you so much. And I'm excited the boy is back. I mean, I saw you hugging him so much. I mean, it's been a tough year for all of us. And we need family around.
It has.
This time, yeah.
Well, thank you. Let's begin what's trending. A video that has now gone viral shows Togolese security personnel maltreating Nigerian citizens. The Nigerians who were traveling on Ethiopian Airlines from the United States to Lagos were told that their connecting flight was full and that they could not continue the trip, prompting some of the travelers to protest. They were then manhandled, with some of them handcuffed by Togolese security. Let's take a quick look at this video before we come back for a discussion.
Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Can you see? Can you see them?
Look at what they're doing. They won't get us on our flight.
I see now.
No! Stop!
Hey! Can you see?
No!
Wait, hey! Can you see?
No. Okay, that's bad. This is bad.
Well, this happened over the weekend, Dr. Abati, and we got a swift response from the Nigerian ambassador to Togo, Debo Adeshina. He had sent a plane to airlift these Nigerians out of Togo. But did it have to happen this way? This was completely uncalled for.
Okay, first, let's start by saying that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and mission in Togo, in Lomé, handled this very well.
Yes.
When the incident occurred, we were told that Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyema, who had followed the president to Turkey, was contacted.
Yes.
The matter was brought to his attention, and he got in touch with the mission in Togo. And Ambassador Debo Adeshina, my good friend, former colleague, personally went to the airport and managed to resolve the matter. Looks like his first major baptism of fire.
Baptism of fire, I like that.
Being Nigeria's ambassador to Togo. I recall telling him when he was given that posting that, in fact, West African posting is very important in terms of our foreign relations because these are immediate neighbors. But it's unfortunate that this incident occurred because Nigeria and Togo, we have over 100 years of relationship, historical and cultural affinities. So I will not go as far as say, the Nigerian government should wield the big stick. However, I think that it's a matter that should be investigated so that it does not happen again. We find many Nigerians wherever in even ECOWAS, where the principle of African brotherhood, which is at the heart of the African Union Protocol, is the strongest in terms of how Nigeria, relates to it. So I think that the Nigerian government, having resolved the matter, getting the Nigerians who were treated badly there back to Nigeria, should go a step further and ask for an investigation. What exactly happened?
Yes, uncalled for.
Why would Nigerians who are in transit, coming from Ethiopia, going through Lomé to get to Nigeria, be treated in this particular manner. Otherwise, you know, you have a copycat reproduction of this, and you know our people too. Well, the other leg of it is to say that Nigerians, and I'm quoting Abike Dabiri in the past when there was an incident. She's the head of the Nigerian Diaspora Commission. Also making the point that Nigerians also have an obligation to respect rules, protocols, and guidelines in other countries. However, that does not justify the kind of xenophobia, increasingly, that we continue to see either in West Africa or other parts of Africa.
Well, before I come to you, in another development, a video surfaced online over the weekend where a woman was heard accusing Ghanaian officials of extortion. The woman claimed that she and other Nigerians held up at a quarantine hotel were made to repeat their COVID tests even after they tested negative in order to extort them. Well, let's take a look.
These guys are running a sham. People tested negative yesterday, and there they are saying our tests are positive. Can you see them?
Do you know it's not allowed?
I don't care. You're holding me here against my will. You're holding me here against my will, and you're telling me that tests that people did yesterday that came out negative, you've tested it, and now it's positive.
And I've tested twice,
and it came out negative. And now they're saying it's positive. Look at them. This is what they're doing. This is what the Ghanaian government is doing to people. They're extorting people intentionally. The Ghanaian government is extorting people intentionally, intimidating us and making us pay afterwards. This is what they're doing to Nigerians. This is what they're doing to people. This is what they're doing to people. This is the doctor here. This is what they're doing. People have tested negative and they're still telling us we're positive. Why are you holding us here? Why are you holding us here? This is what they're doing. Because you want to collect money in this rundown hotel. They don't even get to clean the hotel rooms. Nothing. They don't do anything. Look at the hotel rooms. They don't clean it. They don't do anything because they want to get money off you. This is what the Ghanaian government is doing. After which they'll tell you after 7 days you have to pay $700. This is what they're doing to us. Then they come to intimidate us.
Well, Rufai, over to you for your analysis on both stories.
When I saw both stories, I was sad. But I'd say, number one, Nigeria must exert its authority. I don't care if they are small nations. We should wield the big stick, Dr. Abati.
No nation is small.
We
all have equal votes.
We need to whip these nations in line. And this is my reason, number one. To start with, when these nations are about to do these things, they do against Nigerians. They don't consider the brotherhood of ECOWAS when they do it. I mean, I'm shocked that Togolese officials are doing this. In the spirit, when you have ECOWAS here, we are supposed to have free entry across board. And they are treating Nigerians this way. We have a commonality, we have a common thread. When the likes of Côte d'Ivoire was about to go and join its French allies to set up a currency system that was going to go at variance with us here, by instituting a currency system, they didn't think of Nigeria being big brothers. So I think what we should do is we should read them the Riot Act and possibly try as much as possible to be very hard on them, summon the ambassadors. They must come and speak because there are many cases on ground. Till date, we have not talked about the case of the lady that died in Abidjan. That case is still on ground. We need to summon, they need to come. The ambassador need to come and speak about these things. I'm not surprised as regards Ghana. Ghana has always done this to us. And we need to put Ghana in check. I'm not surprised. We need to exert our authority. Because if we are treating you with that sense of brotherhood, you should do the same. Because in all fairness, we were the ones speaking in favor of all these countries where we had border closure. That is not good for African trade. We supported Ghana. That is going to affect African trade. So why treat our citizens this way? And this should not be taken because we don't speak up. And I think when you start to speak, they'll get the memo. Well, so we should exert our authority at these nations. I'm not going to say they are small, which they are part of it. But anyway, when you look at it deeply in the first place, it goes back to the colonial masters because these borders are artificial in the first place. All of these areas were together.
You're going to say
they were empires. But now that these borders are
just some theoretical caveats. Look, every country exists under an international rule-based system. And in international law, there's something called jus cogens. Under jus cogens, there are certain things you cannot do. It recognizes the fact that there is the equality of states. It also recognizes that you cannot just break the law and behave as you like. And under that principle also is that every country, that are signed to protocols, what is called pacta sunt servanda, which is the obligation to respect international laws. So when all of this fails, diplomacy kicks in. And I do not think that we have a situation with either Togo or Ghana that diplomacy cannot resolve. And that's why I think for now, what should be done is the diplomatic channel. As you have seen that it worked in the case of Canada,
Absolutely.
in the case of the United Kingdom. But as patriots, we have every reason to feel bad when countries that we think, who are those people? Small country, treating us like this. Vanuatu has a population of 150,000, but it has the same vote as Nigeria.
Well said. We'll take another story. Twitter over the weekend reportedly deleted Nigeria's Vice President Yemi Osinbajo's tweet following complaints by the team managing multiple award-winning artist Beyonce Knowles. Osinbajo had posted a video on March 8th featuring Beyonce's song Run the World to mark the 2021 International Women's Day celebration. The tweet, however, did not attribute its content to Beyonce, thereby violating Twitter's copyright regulations. The tweet sparked backlash from Nigerians who believe that the vice president should have been more concerned about pressing issues plaguing the country, prompting them to report the tweet. Rufai, over to you. What's going to happen to Twitter now that we are thinking that everything is about to get resolved?
So there are two things here. There are copyright rules.
Yes.
Somebody reported, and Beyonce can activate the copyright rule because she wasn't tagged. But I don't see anything wrong in the vice president saying girls run the world in celebration of International Women's Day.
No, it was the video.
Yeah, the video.
He had posted.
Yeah,
so that
I don't see anything
Twitter.
wrong in
Absolutely
him
not.
posting a video.
You're saying for the Nigerians that are attacking him.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I don't see anything wrong in the vice president, because let's put these matters in context.
Yes.
I don't see anything wrong with the vice president
I agree with you.
posting a video that girls run the world in celebration of International Women's Day. But Beyonce too can activate a copyright by saying, oh, okay, you violated this. And those are the community rules on Twitter. And if Twitter takes it out, it's in tandem with its community rules, because you have to give credit. And it even goes to other platforms. YouTube, for instance, if you don't put the appropriate copyright on a video, it can be taken down. Even your account can be suspended on YouTube. But I don't see anything wrong in the vice president celebrating, okay. So coming back to the issue of the Twitter ban, I think those are two different cases entirely. The federal government said it's having its own conversation with Twitter. God knows how long they're going to have that conversation.
But then we take a story, Festus Kiyama, who is a committee member, saying that Twitter has reached all the terms. At this point. What's happening with that?
Remember October 1st speech with the president saying, okay, ban lifted and all of that. Only God knows what is happening. But I will go back. The optics look bad for Nigeria.
Absolutely.
That this has gone on and on and on like that. We are a democracy where there's free speech. We are not China. It is China that bans sites like that and the likes. We are not muddy India. It is muddy India that tries to tweak it in favor of his BJP party. We are a democratic state, and there should be pluralism of thought and voices, which is a platform there.
I like that.
You get. And for every one anti-government narrative on Twitter, there are 20 other narratives that is supporting governments.
Okay. International Women's Day is usually celebrated on March 8th. So this tweet that is being talked about was put out by the Office of the Vice President on March 8, 2021. So I'm surprised that we're still, now talking about this in December 2021. However, Twitter has its own community rules. They call it community rules, community standards. And copyright is a major issue. It's one of the major issues that the WTO is having to deal with since the unsuccessful Doha round of negotiations. And it's also the central issue in the trade war between the US and China, US versus China. So control of copyright, protection of copyright. But in this particular case, I will maybe probably classify what the vice president's team did using Beyonce's song to promote women on International Women's Day without the proper attribution, because you need to attribute, you need to indicate the copyright, as what they call a honest mistake rather than an intentional mistake. And so they might have been, the tweet being taken down, as far as I'm concerned, is not a big deal. It's not something over which we lose, a vein, or bust a vein over. However, if you look at it, there's also the subtext there of the attitude of Nigerians towards their governments. Now, most of the people who were saying Beyonce should report that there has been a Digital Millennium Copyright Act, DMCA violation, Digital Millennium Copyright Act violation. They are Nigerians. The complaint did not come from Americans.
No.
They were complaining about the vice president. They were even saying that, why is the vice president talking about women's rights? That there are more important things to worry about. Yeah. Meanwhile, one of the major issues we have in Nigeria is gender politics.
Absolutely.
It's the plight of women. Okay, some analysts will link women with children, and we made the point repeatedly that that's not the way to go. You talk about gender rights, gender equity, gender, issues as a major subject. And that was what the president was focusing on. But there were some Nigerians who were saying, this is not important. It should focus on more important things. And it was on the basis of that they jumped on this copyright issue. How? Okay, some form of self-abnegation, in my view, in that regard. If President Bill Clinton or President Obama, if he releases his music list for 2021, and we see Whiskey there, or we see, President Trump playing Burna Boy's song, the whole of Nigeria will say, President, this has recognized Burna Boy and Whiskey. But if a Nigerian leader, recognizes or endorses Beyonce, they will say, no, it's copyright. So what kind of Uncle Tom mentality, is at the base of this? Because in a sense, I thought that Vice President Professor Osinbajo, using Beyonce's music is a form of celebrity endorsement. If the Vice President of Nigeria identifies Beyonce, that's a plus. But the people who are playing politics with it will play politics with anything and everything.
We'll take another story. Over the weekend, the Nigerian Army confirmed the detention of a female soldier, Private Hannah Sofiat, who got romantically entangled with a Youth Corps member at the National Youth Corps Orientation Camp in Kwara State. While Brigadier General Onyema Nwachukwu, the Army spokesman, in an interview said the female officer violated military laws by getting involved in a public display of amorous relationship with a paramilitary trainee, a Corps member. Well, a video of the proposal went viral last week. Let's take a look before we come back for a discussion. Well, the Army spokesman said that the female soldier's action amounted to taking advantage of her trainee, noting that the public would have been outraged and would have accused the Army of coercion had a male soldier proposed to a female corper during NYSC parade. Well, in another development, let's quickly take a video of an unidentified soldier proposing to his girlfriend that is now making the rounds on social media.
Point to my head, say make I deny you. I go tell them, say lie, don't be lie, yeah. I could spend all of my money on you, spend a couple million on you. Give you love until you say don't do it, yeah. Special type of feeling that I feel when I'm with you. Oh, to mommy, anytime where I do with you. I want your heart and soul and your own body too. I can't let you go. I'm beginning to fall in love.
Well, you know, one of the rules that they mentioned that was broken was indulging in romance while in uniform. This is so outrageous at this point. How dare they detain this woman with all these rules that are not even correctly specified to even address the gender?
Did they detain this man too?
Of course not. That's the outrage.
That goes my answer.
Yeah.
Balance. You know, we're talking about a bill for equality the other time. There goes the conversation on balance.
Absolutely.
This is sad. This is sad. If they can't detain the man, why are they detaining the woman?
We need another, you know, I think we need another excuse. This is outrageous.
Well, I mean, there won't be enough time for me to comment on this, but this is not the first time that it will happen. Yeah. The uniform services insist that they have their rules. You will recall the reference to Section 127 of the Police Regulations Act of 2001, when there was a case in Ekiti State, and the Ekiti State government even had to go to court.
Remember
Ekiti versus IGP, because one uniformed officer got pregnant, something that we think is biological. But, you know, recently, Cute Abiola, you know, was also detained, a naval officer, for 2 weeks because he wore the uniform. So we're dealing with two publics here, but as I said, there isn't enough time to go into all of this. You know, the military services, the uniform services, say these are our rules. If you are wearing our uniform, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. But at the same time, they are saying that, you know, innocent Nigerians should pay attention, you know, in the direction of female soldiers, you know. But at the same time, if you go there, you propose to them, they will say no. Okay. The incident that occurred in Kwara State occurred at a camp called Yekpata Orientation Camp. I think they should change the name of that orientation.
Let's move on. Let's go. Let's go. As you said, Yekpata, it's time to go.
No, it's called Yekpata.
Yekpata, it's time to go. It's time to go.
Okay.
Well, that's all I have for you on What's Trending today. I'll see you tomorrow.